Hello everybody, how are you doing? It is Sunday morning. I am out in the shop and I'm getting ready to joint the edges of the pieces for my chaos blank. Let me show you what I've got. There's one small problem. I don't know if it'll be bad or not. We're going to find out. Here's a quick shot at all the pieces. I've got a nice large section here that we glued up last time. Looking good, happy with that. Got a few more double sections. Now this has already been jointed on both sides. I need to joint this one, this one, this one, and this one. But there's a problem with this one. Look at this. See how it rocks? One of my clamps, after I clamped it this way to hold the pieces together, I clamped it from end to end with a larger clamp, and I was running out of clamps, so I used an older clamp that I had, and evidently one of those clamps, well, not evidently, I saw it laying on the ground when I picked these up, it had slipped off, it didn't hold, and it popped off. Well, the other clamp, just bringing everything together, caused it to warp. I don't know if it's a huge deal. I'm going to try to joint this edge. Let me see if I can find a ruler. Let's take a look at something. The ruler, I think we can joint it. See, we only got to take that much off of it. Well, that much still leaves quite a bit of a blank. So I think we're going to be okay. We're going to try that. You know, hopefully it works. If it doesn't, well, we'll just leave this section off. And we still got one more section here that I need to glue on. So it'll be a little smaller to start with, but we still have a really good blank. So overall, I'm very happy. I just, like I said, I wish I would have caught that and been able to correct it. All right, let's start jointing the edges of these blanks. Well, guys, we're making good progress. I've got everything jointed, ready to be glued up. I'm going to go ahead and glue these three sections together, and then we'll glue this lone section to the remaining fourth section. And once these are dry, then we'll just go ahead and put everything together and make our final blank. Should be really nice. I'm looking forward to getting it all glued up into a single blank, and then thinking about how we're going to cut it to give it a wild and crazy, chaotic design. The last couple of segments are in glue up. We're going to let them dry overnight. These boards have already been jointed on both ends, so they should be able to fit right up to, I've got another segment of 3 over on the table. They should be able to fit right up to that, and we ought to be able to glue them together just as soon as they come out of clamps. I've got a boatload of clamps I need to get put away to clean my table back off. Then we're going to turn our attention to drilling out the final piece of the pinball blank. Check it out, guys. I got it. Through and through. Now there's that offset piece, and I think that's what was happening to me. Notice how close I am to the sides, and that's the way the blank lined up, but I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to go ahead and epoxy a tube in this blank, and then what we're going to do is take this back to the sander, and I'm going to clean those corners up a little bit. I'm not going to deal with fighting, you know, all of that on the lathe. I think that would be a mistake. So we will run this on the sander and clean up a lot of these rough edges. Then we'll take it to the lathe and true it up. So stay tuned. We finally are making progress on this blank. Well, guys, a not so happy ending. I caught I guess a catch and blew this sucker apart. There are the pieces I could find. I couldn't find enough of them to put it back together, so we're going to let this one go. I think that's it for me on this blank. The very first one that I did, I made out of Spectraply, and it worked. It worked well. It's just I was off center. This one looked like it was dead center when I was turning it. As I got it true and looked down it looked really good. I was excited about it. But this is the second one I've blown up on the lathe, and I think it has a lot to do with the grain directions, the multiple changing grain directions, because you figure you've got 12 different directions of grain that you're hitting, and then you've got end grain on that Paduke dowel in the middle. In the video, I'm going to put the video together, and I'm going to show it as a, let me shut this door so you don't hear that lawnmower so loud. I'm going to put the video together, and I'm going to talk about up front, you know, the disaster, how it broke and all that stuff, because I don't want, I think it's a good process. I think it'll work. Matter of fact, I know it'll work. I got one to work. I just didn't drill it straight. But I put a challenge out there. I'm challenging people to attempt this, to take my method, improve upon it, build their own pinwheel blank, and shoot me some photos. I'd be excited to see them. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and retire this one. I'm not having a ton of time, and I don't want to keep going over the same thing. I'm going to let it ride. I may come back to it at a later date and try to do a successful video on it. I think that's definitely possible. But I'm going to go ahead and take a break. I'm going to work on this chaos blank, get it going, and see what else. Been a rough day. I got 2 cars washed. I got the yard trimmed. I've been busy outside, and it is hot and humid. My son's out right now running the mower, and one of the neighbors just stopped and wants to hire him to do his yard. So I got to talk with him when he gets done and see if he's interested in doing that. we'll see what happens. But anyway, wow, I am, I think I'm ready to go ahead and work on the chaos blank. Let me show you what it looks like. I've got everything out of clamps. I got 2 sections of 4 and a section here of just 1 with an additional piece on it. Everything looks good. When I put them together, I've got just a little bit of a gap right there, and I had trued those up ahead of time. But what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and see that gap right there. I'm going to go ahead and run these 2 and these 2 sides against or back through the table saw sled and get them nice and true, because I need the tightest possible fit that I can get. The other blanks all have a gorgeous fit. I don't see any gaps at all in these blanks, and I'm really happy with that. And I don't want to take a chance and get in a hurry and run through this last glue up, because there's only going to be one more glue up. And I don't want to not have them perfect and think, oh, I can draw them together. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to joint those 4 sides again, and then we're going to stick them together. And once that's dry, we'll start working on cutting some crazy angles. I will definitely keep you guys posted, but I'm going to go right now and do the jointing on those sides. I just finished running everything back to the table saw, and man, I've got some great edges. Look at that. Nice tight fit there. Nice tight fit there. I'm going to get this glued up. This is the final glue up, and then we'll start having some fun. Check it out, guys. Final glue up. It won't be long, and we'll be making some crazy chaotic cuts on this one. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for me tonight. After I finished up that last glue up on the chaos blank, I went in for dinner. And man, when I sit down for dinner, I just, from being out in the heat all day and getting everything done that I've been doing around here, I was just wore out. So I went ahead and grabbed a shower, and I'm calling it a night. So this is it for me. Thanks for hanging out with me. Next time we're in the shop, the chaos blank is probably dry enough to come out of the clamps, but I'm going to leave it overnight because it'll be better for it. Next time we're in the shop, we should be cutting that thing up into some crazy pieces. So keep your fingers crossed that that works out, and we will talk to you again real soon. Take care, guys.